morning, YouTube. Well, today I'm about as far north in Oregon as you can go. I'm at Fort Stevens State Park, and one of the big attractions here is the wreck of the Peter Airedale. It's a famous wreck mainly because it's still here. As far as it was built in 1890, and in the early 1900s they were running empty from Mexico up to Portland to pick up another load, and bad weather off of the Columbia River, which is not unusual. They were standing off, and a gust took them and pushed them into the waves, crashing on shore. As you can see, it's steel, but it was a four-masted ship, and mainly built to haul grain from the Pacific Northwest to Australia. There was no life lost, but when it ran aground, it snapped off the main masts, and everything came crashing down. So they did declare it a total loss. It was sold to a salvage company who took a lot of it away, but left the bow here. And in 1960, they finally took the bowsprit down because it was a danger. So, but sort of cool, you know. But there's also the reason it's called Fort Stevens is where we're headed to next. So, okay, so we're at Battery Russell, and if you watched my other videos, you've seen a few other places that had batteries. This one was in operation 1904 to 1944, and most of them, the ones we've been to before, have been national parks, and they've been somewhat restored and a little cleaner, whatever. This one is pretty much as is. I'm sure it's structurally sound because that's a lot of concrete, but we'll take a look in here what we got. At 11:30 p.m. on the night of June 21st, 1942, this battery was shelled by Japanese sub I-25. They shot about 16, I think, shells at it. Did not hit anybody, but there was some damage. This is the first place to be shelled by a foreign power on the mainland U.S. since the War of 1812. So they did not return fire, and there's some confusion. Nobody's really sure why. Speculation is, so this would have been an officer's room. Pretty nice with a little fireplace. Probably would have been warm. Okay, so this is a replica of the guns with the disappearing guns. As you can see, it would have been racked up on that, fired, brought down, reloaded, and put back up. So you know it's pretty much unimproved when you see this kind of sign at the beginning. Luckily, I didn't find any open pits, and only one small drop-off that I avoided. So this is battery 245. It was built during World War II, and there's another one, 247, is across the Columbia River that way, and it was to supplement the existing guns that were here. They were older. These were at the time much more modern. So I'm pretty sure back in the day, this is not how they watched the coast. Just a guess on my part. Okay, those who've watched many of my videos recognize the hat and may associate it with Civil War forts, of which this one actually is one. We're at the northern tip of Oregon, Columbia River, and Fort Stevens was started in 1862 and was completed April 8, 1865, the day before Lee surrendered at Appomattox. So they never fired a gun on an enemy force, but these are the original earthworks. It was surrounded by a moat. Where I am would have been a bridge across this moat. So let's take a look inside. And there are no guns or any kind of structures in here. This is just basically what the fort was like. They did have more modern batteries were put in here after the Civil War, early 1900s, but those have also been removed. But not a big place. This is one of the mines like they used here during World War II. They were electronically controlled in that, you know, in all the war movies you see, the submarines or the ships are bouncing and rub against one and they go off. Well, these were a little bit more technologically advanced than that. They were electronically set off. So the command point, which was here and eventually moved to Fort Canby across on the Washington side, they could the officer in charge could decide which mines to set off and electronically activate them. So by the end of World War II, instead of having the ones floating up, just floating in the water and on cables, they had what they call ground mines, and they were down below, could be released or exploded underneath the ships, and that way friendly vessels could just ride over without having to worry about getting tangled up in the lines and that stuff. So okay, so that's the end of our tour for Fort Stevens. It's the farthest western Civil War era fort that I've been able to find. So didn't know this was here. I understand the World War II aspects, but the surprising part to me, it was started during the Civil War. So anyway, that's it. You ever get a chance to stay here? Lots of spots in the state park campground. I decided to splurge and spend a couple nights with hot showers and plenty of water. And so anyway, see you later, YouTube. Get down back on the road and see what I find as I head up into a new state, or within a day or two. Still got to go look for One-Eyed Willie.